The next file we're going to import is something called a graphics file. This is typically created by the surveyors, and it's basically just MicroStation elements, or should be just MicroStation elements. So we're going to go ahead and we've got the file open already, and it looks very similar to the survey file. And what we do is at MoDOT we create a graphics file and a terrain file, and in the graphics file they basically just export the graphics from the survey data and turns it into just MicroStation Graphics. It's a much smaller file than the survey file. So let's look at our Explorer here, and again I'm going to go into the Open Roads model, and you can see that there is no alignments, no terrain models, nothing in there, and I'm just going to double check to make sure there's no survey data in here. And when I expand out down to field books, I do not have a little triangle here, so there's no survey data in this file. So really the only thing that's in this file, it appears to be, is just MicroStation Graphics at this point in time. So on these files you can do a couple things. What I have been doing is, if it's just MicroStation Graphics, I just leave the file alone and I don't do any updating. Again, it's your preference as far as how you update your files. This is what I've been doing for certain projects at MoDOT. So if I go back to my conversion doc, we did have a section on updating feature definitions and all other DGN files. This would be that kind of scenario here. You could, if you wanted to, and we've done this on some projects where we update or import the ORD feature definitions that are non-survey. You could actually import the survey and the non-survey feature definitions, and same thing for the feature symbologies. You could do that as well. And then you can go in and start deleting the old SS10 feature definitions and then update from DGNlib. But again, on these projects or these files, we typically let the user utilize the file from SS10 with the SS10 features, and we typically tell them to try to use the new feature definitions that are out there when they create new files. And so far that has been working well. So for a file like this, again, I would probably just leave it as is. Now there is some further documentation on what the ORD feature definitions are, and I tried to list those out just as a screen capture. And then I have some of the converted SS10 files in ORD and what they look like as far as the feature definitions go. So you can kind of compare what we have. And then down here is the SS10 feature symbologies in ORD. So you can kind of compare what you have in your DGN file to these screen captures here. But for this file, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it as is. And if the user experiences any issues with this, then I'll look at it at that point in time. But the symbology looks correct because it was, again, just MicroStation Graphics. The levels, the feature definition that's applied to this, again, it's just MicroStation Graphics, so there really is no feature definition. If I go in there, you can just see it's MicroStation Graphics.